Focus on what you want and you'll get more of it. Focus on what you fear and you'll get more of that. Bottom line is, almost everybody in life focuses on what they fear, and that's why they get more of what they don't want. Right? Oh yeah, but what if this happens? What if that happens? If you keep asking, what if this happens? What if that happens? I guarantee you're going to crash. It's only a matter of time. Instead, you got to say, well, what if this happens? What I want. What will happen when I make this happen? What I want. And the more you focus on that, the more of an experience you'll have of what it is that you want in your life. You'll get it right away. Now, here's the problem. You got to still hang on to your F. What is it? Faith. You know what faith is? Faith is understanding the seasons of life. Life comes in seasons, doesn't it? It's not always the same, but it's still predictable as a whole. How many of you are surprised when winter comes? Can I see a show of hands? No, you wouldn't be surprised. You don't be surprised when winter comes. And are there emotional winters, yes or no? You better believe there are. Are there times when you try to communicate well, it doesn't work? Are there times in the office where it feels a little frigid, a little cold? And that's not just the air conditioning. What happens during a winter? You break out a fire and warm each other up. See, some people freeze to death in the winter. Other people ski. The meaning of winter is whatever you do with it. Isn't that true? There's nothing wrong with winter. What if it was always summer? Oh, that'd be great. Oh yeah, I think you get bored with summer. I should probably get burned. Now, some people get burned in the summer. Some people get tan. Some people swim. Some people go on vacation. Springtime's a great time too. You get to plant. Fall, you get to reap. You know what happens to some people in life? What some people do is they say, okay, I'm doing what you said, Robin, I turn my focus, but it's not working. You're still in lag time. God's delays are not God's denials. God's delays are not God's denials. You're in lag time. It'll catch up. Hey, look, you think it's fall, we're still in winter. Or you think it's fall, you're in spring, or you've made it to summer, but we're not to fall yet. Don't be so darn impatient. Take on a new prayer. Lord, give me patience and give it to me right now. Be equally intelligent. It's like some people think, okay, I know what I want. I want this seed to be a plant. They stick it in the soil. Then they come back the next day and they go, where's my plant? And the soil goes, are you new? That's not how it works. You plant it here, okay? You come back every day and take care of it, right? You make it through the whole spring. Then during summer when it's hot, you got to really, really take care of it because it gets even worse during that time. And you make it through all those seasons. In the fall, maybe, more than likely, not always, but most of the time, you will have a plant here. That's how it works. That's not fair. Best of life is how it is, not how you think it should be. Because if you come back each day, the plant will see you come and start laughing, giggle. Look at this guy. What's the matter with him? Why don't I have it yet? Lag time, that's why. Don't make yourself wrong because you're doing the right things and you don't see the results yet. It takes time. Most people completely overestimate what can be done in a year and underestimate what can be done in a decade. I can tell you my own career, my own life, my business life, I gave my heart and soul every day, 276 seminars a year. Going morning, noon, and night, giving my all. If anybody knows me will tell you, all my all, every day, no matter what. And you know what? I was broke. I was frustrated outside in terms of the business. Nothing was working. And I kept, asking myself a great question like, why am I screwing this up so much? It wasn't me screwing up. It's lag time. I had to make distinctions. I had to build something. It takes time. But then the other day, I got a little reality check, which we're going to teach you today. My reality check is I'm flying up to Los Angeles to do my seminar up there in my helicopter, my jet helicopter. It's a tough life, but somebody has to live it. So I don't have to drive for 3 hours. I jump in my helicopter. I'm there in 35 minutes. And plus, I go down and dive down by the dolphins in the water, listen back up and play. It's like having your own roller coaster. And I'm flying over this area where I used to work in Glendale, California. I worked there as a janitor. I drove my 1960 Volkswagen that literally broke down the freeway one day because the wheel fell off. I worked in the middle of the night so I could still go to school. And I got paid $5 an hour, but as a janitor, they figured out how many hours it should take, so I did half the time, did a better job. Because I learned, if you give more value, you get to earn more. Good thing for me to remember. But all of a sudden, I flew over the bank, and I stopped. You see, in a helicopter, you can stop. Like an elevator, just boom, right there. And I just hovered above where I used to work. And I thought, that was 12 years ago. Wow. Wow. For 4 or 5 years after that, I never thought I could have ever had what I wanted. But See, the world moves for those who just never give up. The world will move for those who persist forever and who change their approach. They're flexible in how they do it. They don't just do the same thing over and over again. The world will move for someone who has faith. The world moves for somebody who has trust and then acts on that trust. That's what the world moves for. And someday you get to look down and go, God, was there one time? That's pretty exciting. That's pretty good progress. See, just because you didn't get it when you want it, you may have overestimated in the short term and underestimated your long-term power and potential. It's something you might want to remember.
So decide that you're going to take some time to work on you, that you deserve that from yourself, that your life deserves some prime time, because you are creating your own production. As Michael Todd would say, you are the star of your show. You are the director. You're writing the script. And you will determine whether your life is a smash office hit or flop. You determine that. Working on yourself, talking to yourself. That's so very important. Overcoming the negative conversation, that inner dialogue that's going on all the time, even when you don't want it to be there. You can't stop yourself right now from thinking. You can't do it. It's going on. And so learning how to empower yourself, part of doing that is standing up to yourself. You've got to stand up inside yourself sometimes and say, shut up. You've got to do this. I was going to give a presentation, and this voice inside of me saying, you can't do this. You don't have everything it takes. I shut up. I'm behind on my bills, and you're telling me what I can't do. I have got to do it. You'll get scared sometimes. Your mind will go blank on you. Some people you will allow to unnerve you, and you wonder, what's wrong with me? I'm not crazy. That's why you've got to learn to make a conscious, deliberate, determined effort to stand up inside yourself. Working on yourself, watching that inner dialogue, it will determine the quality of your life. I don't believe this. I know this. I've had a challenge of losing weight. I'm walking through the airport, this voice say, why don't you have some M&M peanuts? No! Well, just one. Then after you eat that, you might as well have a Snicker now, you sucker. I mean, it's challenging. My mother fixed the kind of sweet potato pie you can't eat with your shoes on. Have to take your shoes off so you can wiggle your toes. It sticks on my fingers. It says, eat it. One little bite won't hurt. That voice, constantly. Little demons from Colonel Sanders driving my car in there. I had to say, no. I'll diet tomorrow. I saw a skinny man get hit by a truck. Had he had a little bit more weight, he might have lived, you know. Some of you know what I'm talking about. Raise your hand if you know that. That voice is awesome. So you have got to stand up to that voice. When you're working on something you want to achieve, you have got to stand up to that voice. You've got to sell yourself every day on your abilities, on what you're doing, on the goal that you want to reach. You've got to sell yourself every day, according to your level of belief. It will manifest itself in what you're doing. Whatever we have right now, whatever we're demonstrating in our lives, is a result of what we believe subconsciously that we deserve. And part of increasing that belief level is that you have got to convince yourself every day. You've got to sell to yourself. I do a lot of training for many corporations, and I conduct sales seminars, and I've heard all kind of guys doing techniques and training people techniques of how to close sales and how to work with and begin to control the sale and how to ask for the close. Let me share something with you. You can learn all the techniques in the world. If you don't believe in yourself, it won't happen for you. I learned all of it. So that's why I do a training called Focus on the Seller. You've got to focus on you. And as you convince you As you sell yourself every day, you will begin to see a difference in the things that you're doing. Selling yourself on your ability to perform a job, to achieve a certain objective. Telling yourself every day, here I go again, and I got what it takes. This is my day, and nothing out here is going to stop me.